Hello to my channel Chinese Star. Today we will bring you the following hot and exciting news.
Zhao Liying and Feng Shaofeng reunited on stage. The price of marriage behind the child crying mom. When the child cried for his mother but got no response, the parenting problems of divorced celebrity families hurt everyone. Nannies and grandparents cannot replace the warmth of parents, and childhood under the spotlight bears double loneliness. Marriage will end, but the identity of parents will never be cancelled. The responsibility of love needs to cross the field of public opinion in the field of fame and fortune, and quietly take root and grow in the shoelaces and Lego blocks in the playground. A scene that happened in the entertainment industry recently made countless netizens worried. At a public event with a parent-child theme, actor Feng Shaofeng took his young child on stage to interact. This should have been a warm father-son time, but the child suddenly cried mom to the audience. The camera lens swept across the audience, and Zhao Liying was sitting in the front row, but she kept her head down and fiddled with her mobile phone without any response. This episode, which lasted less than half a minute, caused an uproar on the internet. The incident happened at the Parent-Child Companion Day event held by a certain brand. According to the audience, Feng Shaofeng was playing a game with the host when the 3-year-old child suddenly broke free from his father's arms and stretched out his hands towards somewhere in the audience. The high-definition camera captured Feng Shaofeng's frozen expression. He quickly squatted down and hugged the child, and whispered to comfort him, "Mom is working." Zhao Liying, who was sitting in the third row, never looked up and focused on the screen of her mobile phone until the staff signaled her to get up and leave. After the video was spread on social platforms, it quickly topped the hot search list. There were polarized voices in the comment area. Some people felt sorry for the scene of the child crying for his mother, questioning whether the divorced parents had fulfilled their responsibility to raise him. Some fans defended their idols, believing that this was a maliciously edited clip and that the private lives of celebrities should not be overinterpreted. However, more ordinary audiences noticed that this was not the first time that the media had photographed Zhao Liying avoiding being in the same frame with her child. In fact, this former screen couple lived in the spotlight from marriage to divorce. When they suddenly announced their marriage in 2018, the TV series You Know they were working on was on the air. The sweet interactions on and off the screen made the audience exclaim, "Too sweet." However, the marriage lasted only 2.5 years before it was declared over. The promise of raising children together in the divorce statement now seems to be facing a reality test. In ordinary families, how to raise children together after a couple divorces is a difficult problem, and it is even more complicated for celebrities. Some child psychologists analyzed that the nature of celebrities' work makes it difficult for them to maintain a stable rhythm of companionship. Take Zhao Liying as an example. After the divorce, she maintained a high-intensity work rhythm of 3 TV series and 2 variety shows every year. Most of the social platforms posted about the daily life of the crew. Although Feng Shaofeng has reduced filming of movies and TV series, he needs to attend commercial activities frequently. The work teams of both of them have revealed to the media that the daily care of the children mainly depends on the nanny and both parents. This situation is not an isolated case in the entertainment industry. Counting the celebrity couples who have divorced in recent years, the issue of child support often becomes the focus of public opinion. For example, a singer couple divorced for 5 years, and their 2 children moved overseas with their mother, while their father could only participate in their growth through video calls. After a well-known director couple divorced, their daughter followed her father to various cruises and was photographed by the media doing homework on the set. These cases remind us that when the marriage relationship is dissolved, how to maintain a healthy parent-child relationship becomes a more complicated issue. Legal professionals pointed out that although China's civil code clearly stipulates the obligation of divorced parents to support their children, there are practical difficulties in specific implementation. Especially for special professions such as performing artists, who often need to work across regions, the traditional visitation rights system is difficult to implement. Some lawyers suggest referring to the joint custody model of European and American countries, that is, both parents need to jointly formulate a detailed parenting plan, including living arrangements, education decisions, etc. However, this model requires a high degree of cooperation from parents, which is difficult to implement for divorced couples who already have conflicts. It is worth noting that the public's excessive attention to celebrity families may increase the psychological pressure on children. In the comment section of Feng Shaofeng's father-son interaction video, Some netizens dug out Zhao Liying's airport photo 3 months ago and inferred the frequency of mother-son meetings based on the children's picture books in her handbag. This kind of microscope-like onlookers invisibly builds a transparent growth environment for children. Education experts remind that the divorce of parents itself will bring insecurity to children, and the continuous attention of the public opinion field may cause double psychological trauma. In the divorce cases of ordinary people, community workers and relatives can often provide an emotional support system. But it is difficult for celebrity families to obtain similar help due to privacy protection. A senior agent who has handled many celebrity divorce cases revealed that they usually advise the parties to hire a professional child psychological counseling team as soon as possible to help the children smoothly overcome the emotional fluctuations caused by family changes. At the same time, they will strictly control the frequency of children's exposure in public places to avoid secondary harm under public opinion and flash. However, from the actual effect, these measures are more often used as crisis public relations means, and are standard procedures set up to maintain public image and commercial interests, but they can hardly replace the company and emotional care of parents in daily life. For children, no matter how much psychological counseling, it is not as good as the sincere listening and participation of parents. Looking back at the stage incident that has caused heated discussions, perhaps what we should really think about is not simply blaming the responsibility on the negligence of celebrity parents, but how to face and solve the real parenting problems faced by divorced families in today's society. In the high-speed entertainment industry, the absence of parents seems to have long become the norm, and at a broader social level, single-parent families, grandparents and other issues are becoming more and more common. This is not only a dilemma for celebrity families, but also a challenge for modern society. We should give these children more understanding and support, and call on the whole society to establish a more complete child psychological support system, so that every child, regardless of whether the family is complete or not, can grow up in love and find their own warmth and security. On the short video platform, we often see some touching moments. A single mother rides an electric bike to deliver food, and the child sits in the back seat quietly to accompany her. The comment area is full of encouragement and resonance. There are also fathers who work in the city, crying silently in front of the camera, choking up and telling about their guilt and helplessness for the children left behind in their hometown. The real experiences of these ordinary people have aroused the empathy and reflection of countless netizens. These stories form a subtle and profound contrast with the parenting controversy of celebrity families under the spotlight. Although the living conditions are very different, they face the same problems: children's company, emotional connection, and psychological support and growth. When we accuse some celebrity parents of neglecting children and over-pursuing careers, we should also realize that the parenting problem has long gone beyond the scope of individual choice, and it implies the complexity of the entire social structure and system. Whether it is the lower-class parents who work day and night but cannot accompany their children, or the public figures who struggle between career and parenting, many people are actually trapped in the situation of love but powerlessness. Rather than simply criticizing individuals, perhaps we should reflect on whether the parenting support system in modern society is perfect enough. Does it provide emotional support, parenting resources and psychological security for all parents? Only when we work together at the institutional and cultural levels to create a warmer growth environment for every family and every child, can real change happen. In big cities, dual-income families have long been accustomed to leaving their children to the care of the elderly or nannies, which has become a helpless reality of having company but lacking participation. In the vast rural areas, many children can only establish contact with their parents who work far away from home through occasional video calls. Such a simple connection is already a luxurious warm moment for them. These structural problems about parenting will not naturally dissipate because of the celebrity effect. On the contrary, under the spotlight where the star's every move is magnified and scrutinized, they are exposed more realistically and nakedly. The public's discussion of celebrity parenting often reflects the anxiety and dilemma that also exists in ordinary families. A week after the incident continued to ferment, the media photographed Zhao Liying rarely appearing in a children's playground with her child. She wore a mask throughout the whole process and tried to be low-key, but at the moment captured by the camera, she was squatting to carefully tie the shoelaces for her child, with gentle and focused movements. Although this scene is ordinary, it is particularly touching, perhaps because she is a public figure. Such a moment of companionship seems more precious and real. Amid the noisy controversy, such a picture reminds us, regardless of their status, every parent is trying to balance life and parenting in their own way. Before we judge, We should give more understanding and patience, and we might as well extend our attention from the right and wrong of individuals to the improvement of the entire social parenting environment. Feng Shaofeng Studio then released a photo of the father and son playing Lego, with the text slowly learning to be a good father. These details may not completely eliminate public doubts, but at least they show that the parties are making efforts. Just as every ordinary family is learning how to raise children in the bumps and bruises, celebrity parents also need room for trial and error and growth. This incident has taught everyone a vivid lesson. In the besieged city of marriage, children are always the most innocent residents. Whether it is a glamorous star or an ordinary person, when a relationship comes to an end, how to protect the world of children is a more important issue than the division of property.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to our support channel.